Not quite a seven-figure CEO yet? Even if you're not quite there, your calendar should look like you are, and here's why. In order to be the seven-figure business owner we want to be, we need to embody that version of ourselves. Does the seven-figure version of you sit and watch Netflix all day? Or is she taking action? Is she running herself to the ground? I don't think so. So how do you get to easy? Here are 2 ways to find more time and move you toward that seven-figure life that you are looking for. Well, hi there. I'm Melinda, the orderly entrepreneur, helping online business program and course launchers streamline their business and their busy lives so they can have the easy business that they have been looking for. Let's dive in to these 2 ways that you can find more time and become that seven-figure CEO. Okay, the 2 things I'm going to be talking about today are creating systems and planning ahead. They might seem somewhat simple, right? Create systems, find more time, have a plan, find more time. But I'm going to go deep into each one so that you can see how each one of these can really impact what you're doing. And even though it's not actively, a time-saving hack, it is going to allow you to be more productive with your time. So way number 1, create systems for your daily tasks and filing. So this can be anything from how do you check your email? What's the process that you use to check your email? How do you communicate with your VA? Do you have a process of creating content for your Facebook group? When do you check social media? Where do you go to find all of your tasks and projects? So these are all the things that you can list out to see what kind of systems and processes you can actually formulate. You may not know it, but doing something as simple as having a startup routine is something that's going to allow you to be more productive. Why? Well, for one, it streamlines what you do when you're starting your day up for work, but it allows you to also be consistent in what you're doing each day. I've talked about this in some videos before. So this is just an example to have a startup routine, but it's a good example because by doing something that's actually helping you, you are in turn saving time and being more productive. You're getting things done, and it's going to help you throughout the rest of your day, throughout the rest of your week, and really help your future self. Another example would be checking your email. How many times do you check your email a day? And when do you check it? And do you have a certain process that you go through when you check it? Sounds simple, but if you can streamline the process, then it's going to help you out each day and each week. So as an example, taking the startup routine, if you check your email every day when you sit down at your desk, open your computer, and checking your email is part of your startup routine, you're setting aside time to actually look at your email and respond if you need to, and delete things, unsubscribe to things, respond, all of those kinds of stuff. And then you don't have to look at it again until lunchtime. And then maybe you can look at it again before the end of the day, rather than picking up your phone every 15 minutes and looking at the email, or, looking at it at the beginning of the day, but just looking and scrolling and saying, oh, I'll get to that later. And then it keeps backing up and backing up. So if you set aside a specific time and a certain way that you do it, it's going to help you. A third example would be checking your social media. So I don't know about you, but for me, I use social media a lot. I use it for my marketing, and I'm on it a lot. I do reels, I post on Instagram, I have a Facebook group, I have this YouTube channel, and so I'm constantly interacting with social media, and it makes it really difficult to not go down that squirrel rabbit hole of scrolling all the reels and just going off the rails and not focusing on what I am doing. So if that is you too, to setting aside specific times during the day that you actually pick up your phone or you go to the platforms on your computer and allow yourself to scroll, allow yourself to do commenting, to look at real ideas, to do anything that you want to do on social media. It's almost like if you're on a diet and you don't allow yourself that dessert, you're gonna go have the dessert at some time and then you're gonna feel bad about it and then it's gonna mess you up. But if you plan dessert into your diet, then you can still have the dessert and you can still feel good that you are on your diet, right? So this is the same kind of thing. If you plan your time for social media, you are setting aside the time for that fun scrolling and going down a rabbit hole for a few minutes. You can set a timer. I use Alexa all the time to set a timer for when I do things like that. So give it a try and see if it helps you be a little bit more productive. A couple more things that you can do with the example of social media is to use a content calendar and plan ahead. And you can also batch your work. And that's where you do like tasks all together rather than doing them individually throughout the day or throughout the week. Way number 2 for being more productive as an entrepreneur is to plan ahead. So what do I mean by planning ahead? We all know that if we act on something before it becomes a problem, we're going to be able to take care of it better rather than reacting to something after it happens. So being intentional and having a plan with our calendar and our tasks and everything that we need to get done is going to be super helpful for you. So what are some things that can help you plan ahead? Well, you can look at your calendar every night before you go to bed so that you know what's coming up the following day. Every Sunday evening or every Monday night or Friday night, whenever you end your week or start your week, you can look at the whole week ahead and think about all of the different appointments that you have, all of the different non-negotiables that can't go away off of your calendar, and then you will automatically know what's coming. You will have some time for it, and you will be able to act on those things rather than reacting when you accidentally forgot that it was supposed to happen. Another thing is communication with your team and or with your family. So if you are planning your calendar and you have children or a partner, somebody that you live with, you're going to want to communicate with them so that you know what their expectations are, what you're supposed to be doing for them. Do you have to provide meals for anybody? Do you need to go to the grocery store? Do you have to take somebody to the doctor? Do you have to take your children to school or practice? Those are things that you have to know. And sometimes we don't know what our partner is doing or what our children have planned until the day of. And so if we communicate, we can have that plan ahead of time. Also with your team, having team meetings once a week, even if it's just a really short thing, or even it could be through an email or messaging back and forth. Deciding what needs to be done and what you're going to take care of will help smooth out any issues that arise. Because if you have that plan, you know what's coming up, and inevitably things are going to happen to, throw a wrench in things. But because you know the things that need to get done, you're going to be able to get over those humps a little bit easier rather than reacting to all of that stuff that is going to happen anyway. Another great idea for having a plan or to plan ahead is to take a look at your goals. You can take a look at your yearly goals, quarterly, monthly, whatever it is that you have or want to focus on, and reverse engineer. So you take your large goal and you decide what needs to be done in large chunks, and then you break things down and you divide it by your time. If you can do that ahead of time, you know whether or not you have enough time to accomplish the goal that you want to achieve. And then you also are able to carve time into your calendar so that you are able to achieve it. Because sometimes we'll set a goal, but then we don't break everything down and really put it in to where it's going to get done. And when we don't do that, then it doesn't get done and we don't accomplish our goals, and then we feel sad. Being more productive isn't just about finding more time. Just by adding some intention into your CEO calendar strategy, you are going to move leaps and bounds way quicker than you would otherwise, because you are going to be working on the right things, whatever those may be for you. So how about you? Do you feel like you could be more productive just by being more intentional? Comment below and give me your take on it. I'd love to hear. For more productivity tips that aren't just about finding more time, head to this video right here and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe and I will see you later.